In the ancient world, directions were more than geography, they were philosophy. East meant birth, south meant heat, west signified death. But north? North was something else entirely. To the Greeks, the north was the edge of the known. It was wild, unknowable, and filled with things that should not exist. And yet it was there, in that unknowable cold, that they placed a paradise. Hyperborea, a land beyond the cold, beyond Boreas, the god of the north wind. According to the Greeks, Boreas' domain stopped at the edge of Thrace. Beyond that was calm, warmth, and perpetual daylight. Eternal spring. Trees bearing fruit year-round. Flowers that never wilted. A people who never aged. The Hyperboreans were said to live for 1,000 years, spending their days in song and worship of Apollo, who visited them in person. Pindar and Herodotus weren't writing fantasy. They believed Hyperborea was real. So did the Romans. So did the Persians. Even the Celts had tales of a northern paradise, the White Island. Why would so many cultures invent a similar myth? Unless it wasn't a myth at all. Could Hyperborea have been a real place, remembered across time through fragmented stories, warped by myth but rooted in fact? And if it was real, where did it go? In 1569, Gerardus Mercator, one of history's most brilliant cartographers, created his world map, a tool for navigation, a marvel of geography, and a portal to a mystery that has haunted researchers for centuries. At the center of Mercator's map, where the North Pole should be, lies something unexpected, a massive island surrounded by 4 rivers, all converging at a black mountain, Rupes Nigra. Mercator claimed this design came from ancient sources, long-lost manuscripts, perhaps from the legendary Library of Alexandria. In a letter to John Dee, the astrologer of Queen Elizabeth I, Mercator described how 8 books of geography passed to him from a traveler who accessed ancient knowledge forbidden to the public. What's more haunting is how this Arctic land, complete with settlements, mountains, and forests, appears in multiple maps of the 16th and 17th centuries. The Bloch map, created in 1739, shows an ice-free Antarctica with a massive inland sea and rivers, possibly suggesting an older geography. The Orance Fine map shows similar polar land masses. Then, around the 1800s, these maps vanish. The official explanation? Better instruments, more accurate knowledge. But there are whispers among conspiracy researchers. What if this knowledge was suppressed? What if certain governments or societies had found something and chose to hide it? Something that would upend our understanding of history and human origins. Who lived in Hyperborea? The myths tell us of tall, glowing beings, radiant in both form and spirit. Some claim they were godlike. Others whisper that they were the first humans, uncorrupted, unfallen, unbound by time. But not all stories were comforting. Some ancient texts speak of their unnatural lifespans, of their piercing, colorless eyes, of a silence that followed wherever they went. In esoteric lore, Hyperboreans are sometimes classified as a root race, a pre-human civilization. Madame Blavatsky called them the second root race, emerging after the Polarian beings. They were ethereal, part spirit, part matter. Some say they could manipulate energy. Others say they communicated telepathically. But all accounts agree on one thing. They vanished. Or perhaps they chose to leave. Some believe they migrated underground, forming civilizations within vast subterranean chambers. Others believe they ascended to another dimension. And a few believe they're still here, hidden among us, waiting. The 20th century was the bloodiest in history. But behind the tanks and trenches, behind the politics and propaganda, there were secrets. In 1938, a German expedition to Tibet sought ancient knowledge. That same year, the SS launched covert missions to Antarctica and the Arctic Circle. Their goal? Find Hyperborea. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, was obsessed with Aryan origins. He believed the Hyperboreans were ancestors of the Germanic race, and that their knowledge could restore a golden age. The Thule Society, a secret order tied to early Nazi ideology, studied ancient Nordic and Vedic texts that pointed to a polar homeland of the gods. Some claim the Nazis discovered something in the Arctic, something ancient. There are rumors of recovered artifacts, secret bases beneath the ice, and contact with beings not of this world. After World War II, the U.S. launched Operation High Jump, an enormous military expedition to Antarctica. Officially, it was to test equipment. Unofficially, no one knows. Admiral Richard Byrd, who led the mission, returned early. In a later interview, he spoke cryptically of a threat from the poles, with craft that could travel from pole to pole in minutes. Was he warning us? Or silenced? There are strange things in the Arctic, things science struggles to explain. Satellite images occasionally show land masses at the North Pole, then they vanish. Google Earth blurs large sections of the polar regions. In 2007, Russian explorers planted a flag on the Arctic seabed. Weeks later, their footage showed unusual magnetic activity and unexplained objects on the seafloor. Military aircraft have reported magnetic anomalies near the pole. Compasses spin wildly. Radio signals drop. Some say there is a vortex at the center of the Arctic, a gateway to another realm, a remnant of the ancient Hyperborean technology. Others believe there's an entrance to the hollow Earth, a theory that connects Hyperborea with Agartha, Atlantis, and every lost world myth we've ever heard, all pointing north. What if the Hyperboreans didn't vanish? What if they became us? Geneticists have discovered unusual haplogroups in indigenous Arctic peoples. Mitochondrial DNA sequences appear in unexpected populations, from Siberia to Scandinavia to North America. Could these be remnants of a vanished race? Legends from Inuit, Sami, and Siberian tribes speak of sky people, giants of the ice, and ancestors from the stars. They describe visitors who taught them, healed them, then disappeared. In Peru, the Chachapoya people, the cloud people, had pale skin and tall stature, unusual for the region. Some theorists suggest they were Hyperborean migrants. Could the ancient gods, the shining ones, the culture bringers, all be one and the same? Are their bloodlines still among us? Are they waiting for something to awaken? In 2016, seismic instruments in Greenland detected low-frequency hums coming from deep beneath the ice sheet. At first, researchers believed it to be tectonic activity, but the patterns were rhythmic, repeating, like a signal. In 2020, an expedition funded by a private European consortium attempted to drill into a subglacial cavern reportedly seen via satellite scans. The feed went dark after 19 hours. The team was never heard from again. Some say they found ruins, massive structures buried beneath kilometers of ice. Columns, domes, symbols unlike any known language. Others speak of audio recordings, harmonic vibrations that affected the crew's mental state. A soft, melodic hum that made some cry. Others screamed, what if Hyperborea isn't dead, but dreaming? What if something ancient stirs beneath the cold silence? Beneath our feet may lie a world far older than our own. The hollow earth theory, dismissed by mainstream science, persists in the corners of arcane lore. And at the center of this theory stands Hyperborea. Ancient Buddhist texts speak of Shambhala, a paradise within the earth. In Hindu legends, there is Patala, an underworld filled with radiant cities and divine beings. The Norse believed in Svartalfheimr, a subterranean realm of powerful entities. In each of these myths, the entrance lies in the north. Could Hyperborea have retreated inward, not outward? Could their glowing cities, their radiant beings, have simply sunk, intentionally or catastrophically, into the Earth's crust? In 1947, Admiral Richard Byrd allegedly described flying over lush green valleys and mammoth-like creatures in the Arctic interior. Though heavily disputed, his secret journal, leaked decades later, tells of beings of superior intelligence that warned humanity against nuclear war. Were these the last of the Hyperboreans? Or their descendants? Perhaps they are watching, guiding, waiting. Throughout history, humanity has stumbled upon technology it was not ready to wield. The Ark of the Covenant, the Vimanas of India, The Atlantean crystal generators. Could these have been remnants of Hyperborean engineering? Legends say the Hyperboreans harnessed energy from the Earth itself, a form of free, radiant energy that sustained their paradise. Tesla believed in such a power source. He spoke of a world wireless system, eerily similar to ancient descriptions. Some claim the Nazis attempted to recreate this energy through the mysterious Die Glock project, a bell-shaped device said to distort space and time. Was this stolen Hyperborean knowledge? And if this energy still exists, why has it been hidden? What might happen if humanity rediscovers it? There are lights in the Arctic sky that do not belong. Pilots speak of glowing orbs tracking their aircraft. Satellites capture heat signatures in places that should be frozen. Locals report buzzing sounds beneath the ice. Since the 1950s, UFO sightings have spiked near the poles, often dismissed but never explained. Could these be ancient Hyperborean craft, still functioning? Could the so-called aliens be us? Or at least what we once were? Some researchers believe that extraterrestrials are in fact extradimensional or ultra-terrestrial, beings who never left this world but merely stepped aside. Could Hyperborea have ascended into such a state? Are they returning? Across the world, ancient civilizations speak of a time when the gods will return. The Mayans spoke of the end of the age. The Hopi prophesied the reemergence of the blue star Kachina. Even the Bible hints at a return of heavenly beings in the end times. Could this be connected to Hyperborea? Are we on the brink of remembering something we were made to forget? Perhaps our dreams of utopia, of paradise lost, are more than wishful thinking. Perhaps they are ancestral memories, echoes of a home we once knew. As the ice melts, as the poles shift, as the sky trembles with strange lights, the question remains. Will Hyperborea rise again? Or has it been here all along, just out of sight, just out of reach, just waiting for us to wake up?